Here is what I am building to educate and onboard people to Bitcoin in 2026. First off, I've not done as many videos lately. And part of that is my family and I were sick a week or two back, and it took a few days to get over that, and it's hard to record Bitcoin videos when you're sick. Second, my daughter broke her ankle quite badly about 10 days ago. She broke the ankle bones in 3 different places and pulled or sprained or strained a ligament. Anyway, it was quite bad. And so it's taken a lot of time with my wife and I to nurse her back to health. She's doing a little better, but it's going to be a long road to recovery. So obviously hard to do Bitcoin videos when you're running around town, going to the pharmacist and, operating on suboptimal amounts of sleep. But anyway, I have been building nonetheless. And so for 2026, I've got about 5 major initiatives that I'm either helping, supporting, financing, or actively doing to advance Bitcoin. So you may be wondering, for example, in the recent price dips, why is Joel not recording 10 videos a day, holding your hand through the price dips? And the answer is because I'm working on major initiatives that will educate and onboard people to Bitcoin. Just like back in the 2022 bear market, there were people like Michael Saylor who were very helpful for me to understand what was going on. But at the same time, he was building. So he did not have every minute of every day. And I remember sometimes the price would dip in 2022, and I'd be thinking, where's Michael Saylor? I need him to hold my hand. And the truth is, no, he's building. And when you're building, you don't have as much time to hold people's hands. And I'm very thankful for everything Michael Saylor was building in 2022, and I'm glad he allocated his time accordingly. So here's some of the big things I'm working on. The biggest thing is a major effort to understand the messaging of Bitcoin. Why is it that people adopt Bitcoin? What is their hesitancy to adopt Bitcoin? What are their concerns? And all of that can be determined through a combination of focus groups, message testing, polling, market research, message research, all of those things. So I am embarking, and it's been in the works for the last couple months now, on a major effort to understand Bitcoin adoption in the United States. What holds people back? What is it that they need to understand about Bitcoin to adopt it? What they currently don't understand, what they misunderstand. Anyway, it's a multi-$100,000 massive undertaking that is a combination of market research, message testing, polling, focus groups, follow-up message testing, all of that to, again, try to understand what it takes to unlock people's understanding of Bitcoin. So that is the biggest project happening right now. Also, there's a bunch of media resources that me and others are working on that will support that effort, where we attempt to deliver the messages that are most effective at helping people understand and onboard and educate themselves about Bitcoin. How do we get that message to those people? So that is a major multi-$100,000 effort, not only to figure out what the message is, but then to message it effectively to the masses. Then there's more localized efforts. I'm working with and helping fund Ali Shaw, who's doing a bunch of Bitcoin education and onboarding for young people, and some international outreach. I'm working closely and helping fund Joy LaValle, who's doing education and onboarding for Bitcoin to people in the professional trades and people who work in, electricians and plumbing and welding and, just all of the professional trades that keep the world going round. And there's a lot of unique things that Bitcoin is a good fit for in that world. And Joy LaValle lives deep in that world. So I am super excited for all of the things I'm working on with a bunch of different people, some of which, for various reasons, are confidential at this point, but will be made public at some point. But it would be names you recognize. So anyway, I'm super excited about all of that. So the whole time that Bitcoin's price has been dipping and recovering and down to $60,000, freaking everybody out, instead of being freaked out, I have been building, raising the many hundreds of thousands of dollars that will be required to do all of these projects effectively, getting together and assisting with proposals and, aligning all the resources, interviewing people, interviewing pollsters and focus groups and message testing resources and all of that. Anyway, that's been most of December and January, February, and so far in March has been putting all of those pieces together so that we can roll out throughout 2026 some major initiatives that will advance and educate and onboard people to Bitcoin. So that's super exciting, and I figured I'd give you a quick update on that. One, in case you've been wondering, what have I been up to the last couple months? The answer is I've been working on major long-term Bitcoin education and onboarding initiatives. And then second, why have there not been as many videos the last 2 weeks? And the answer is, well, A, I was sick, and B, other people in my family were sick, and C, my daughter broke her ankle. And that'll take the wind out of anybody's sails who has already a lot going on and is doing education and onboarding in their spare time. When your spare time drops to zero, it's hard to keep doing that. But anyway, lots of exciting stuff coming in 2026. Hopefully $60,000 was the bottom of this Bitcoin bear market, and that already happened back on February 5th. So hopefully we're, however long this is, hopefully we're a month and 10 days. What is that, 5-6 weeks? Hopefully we're 5 or 6 weeks past the bottom of this bear market, which means we are in a new bull market. Again, per the 2 videos I just did, that could not be the case. There is a 40% chance we go revisit the low 60s, or even slightly below 60,000. I don't think it's likely. It could happen. If it does happen, I don't think we'll be down there very long. But who knows? Literally nobody knows. I don't know. Michael Saylor doesn't know. God himself is the only person that knows what is going to happen in the future, and none of us are him. So that means we just have to buy as much Bitcoin as we can and hold on to it for as long as conceivably possible, because that's all we can do. But all these initiatives are super exciting. Each of them in their own way will help educate and onboard the next generation of Bitcoiners, thereby unleashing and freeing them from the shackles of fiat currency that keep them chained to a never-ending treadmill that's always moving you backwards, which is what government issued, which is called fiat, made up out of thin air currency like the US dollar, is doing to people. So I hope to unchain and unleash through all these initiatives. I'm super excited about them, and they're taking a ton of time, ton of energy, ton of money, and all, I believe, very much worth it, and all very much worth doing right now. As the famous saying goes, bear markets are for builders. That means the best time to be building things is in a bear market, which means then you can spread your wings and fly in the bull market, which is the up market that always follows a bear market. So what you don't want to do in a bear market is shut down, stop paying attention, unplug, or worst of all, sell your Bitcoin. What you want to be doing in a bear market is building your Bitcoin position, acquiring as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, learning as much about Bitcoin as you possibly can. Bear markets are for builders, and Bitcoin and builders are the people who end up being the wealthiest around the world in Bitcoin terms and in non-Bitcoin terms. So that's where we are. We're hopefully emerging from this bear market. Bear markets are for builders. Lots of exciting stuff in the pipeline for 2026. And I will try to record as many videos as I can and put out as much other content as I can while keeping these major initiatives going with lots of exciting stuff in the queue. So if I can do anything for you, let me know. I'm always here to serve. Thanks, everyone.